Now, something that's a little bit hard to talk about, and go as deep as you want or as shallow as you want on this one, but you did express to me that you were a victim of a child sex assault when you were younger. Just tell us your age, and you don't have to mention anything about the perpetrator or what's happened. You can just tell me what you think. But I just want to know how that's refined and defined your life as an adult and as a fully functioning, beautiful woman in this country. When did it occur? And just give us your story as much as you like on that.
So I was 13 when the assault happened, but I was actually I was the perpetrator. Was actually almost, if I had thought of him like a father figure. So I was actually around him quite a lot, and there was a lot of mental abuse going on as well. Like I was told, that I wasn't good enough. Lucky I could sing because I wasn't smart. So there was a lot of psychological abuse going on as well. And it kind of, it was hard because, I'd thought so much of this person, and then I didn't actually realize, I'm like, I froze, and I'm like, did he actually, what's going on? And so I pushed it aside. I just, I walked away sort of, I just buried it. I didn't want to believe that it had happened. And it was actually 2019 when it was, he was caught for sexually assaulting his foster daughter. And Mum actually, just in general conversation, I thought we heard, had you heard about, unfortunately, we can't mention names because it's a defamation of character, which is, that's another story, I guess.
Yeah, of course, ridiculous.
But I don't, did he die? Did he? And I'm like, oh my goodness. That it was almost like a relief of he's not here anymore, thank God. Yeah. But when Mum found out what had happened, she tells me now that she asked me, and apparently I went white, and I told her what had happened. And I still remember when she asked me what happened, because it was just before I went to the Tamworth, the Country Music Festival in January, because he was actually my vocal coach.
Okay.
And it was almost like singing and music world had become a bit of a dangerous place. I didn't want to do it anymore. I felt that I'd gotten everything that I had from him. And I said, no, I made a commitment. I had a booking, I have to go. So I went up to Tamworth to do a show. It was the Cultural Festival Showcase.
Yeah.
And I walked into the South Tamworth Bowling Club, and I went and hid in the bathroom because my world, my music world, my safe, my happy place, my friends, my everything was just kind of like, who could I trust? Who could I count on? Who could I didn't know, what was going on, everything was just kind of shattered. It was like I was kid again, and everything just kind of come flooding back at me. And I wanted to give up. That was it. Luckily I actually had my guitarist with me, and he talked me through it, and he got me on stage.
Awesome. What a beautiful man or girl. Was it a man?
It was a man.
Yeah.
He got me on stage, and there was actually a young girl at the place where he was staying, and said that, she wanted to meet me because of my time on The Voice. And so we actually went and had a bit of a jam session before my show, and I didn't want to disappoint anyone else. That's always been my, I want to make other people happy. That's, if I can make someone else smile, I'm good.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I need to go and sing. So I come home and I started thinking, what did he really do for me? I've had, so many amazing, I've had, vocal coaches down in Melbourne. I've had, Roxanne Kiley, who's my vocal coach up here. She's incredible.
I know Roxanne.
She's amazing.
And Delta thinks she's pretty cool as well.
She does. And, the experiences that I've had, and I sat there and I realized that he's given me nothing. He's taken some things from me, and it all slowly sort of come together of sometimes why I react the way that I do. I got to be quick to anger. I can be a little bit sensitive. And yeah, I guess it's now a matter of I'm still trying to deal with trust issues. It has been hard in relationships.
Yeah, really, I couldn't only imagine.
Because it's hard to let anyone get close because, that fear of, what do you want from me? Are you going to hurt me?
Well, I think even what you've told me there, like there's such a thing as emotional damage and psychological damage that girls and guys, they both have to be guilty because sometimes it's the polar opposite. But that is sometimes more damaging than the physical, because what you're telling me, none of that physical would have happened if he wasn't allowed or to be in the room with you without that emotional, breaking that person down and then taking them when they're vulnerable. And that's what evil people do. So I just want you to know that you're as brave as you are, this is not going to define you. And it's like, I'll give you the reason why I know that, because I was 13 or 14 and I was a really good soccer player, and I finally got into the reps of soccer, so the Sutherland Shire reps. And I won't mention his name either because he's a douchebag and apparently he's dying of cancer now, which is whatever. I don't think if that's karma. I think that's an illness, and I don't wish any cancer on anyone. However, the way he made me feel, this guy, he turned me away from soccer because he basically sat me on the bench and said, "You're lucky to be in this team. If you don't score a goal every game, you'll be on the bench for the rest of your life." He told a 13-year-old boy who had dreams to play for Australia in soccer. Do you know how much that would have broken me? And I know that's nothing in comparison to what you went through, but it's still trauma. So I had, as I got older, had issues with people in positions of authority. And I still do with some fairly good evidence as well. But what I'm just saying to you, that these are traumatic experiences. You've suffered trauma, and you can go back to it when you're talking to me or your loved ones or your fans or your friends and show braveness and humility, and it will always make you better. Because you know what was beautiful about that story? That little girl saw you on The Voice and you got on stage and sang to her. So you've won. Yeah. You've won.
That's the battle. He can't take any more power. That's the hardest thing, is remembering that I am, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor.
Yeah, and it doesn't define you. And it's actually, the older you get and the longer you live on this earth, like with my post-traumatic stress in the police, the demons are further at the back of my mind because I've been out of the cops, thank God, for so long.